Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Thanks so much for stopping by Chelsea again. There is like an hour till the Chelsea game, so I decided we could record some modeling. And I'm not going to do a time lapse this time. I'm going to try something new. So if you like this thing, just hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We'll try to make like like a type of computer, like a laptop, futuristic laptop, and see where we go with it. We are in, we'll be working in 3ds Max as always. We have the UE guy, and let's remove me. Come on, there you go. Let's remove this one, and let's start. Okay, so first things first, I want to make the the screen. So to do this, I'm gonna go 21 inch monitor size, and let's see how much is it actually. I gotta I've gotta go for inch to centimeter conversion. Okay, so we're gonna make it width and height, what interests us. So this much inches. Holy, okay. So let's start with a plane, which will be our screen. And let's get rid of subdivisions. I almost got it though. Right, and then the height. Yeah, that's much. Okay, and we're going 16 by 9. I don't know why, it's just the resolution that suits us. Okay, we can work with that. It seems a little bit wide, wider than it actually would look, but who knows? Perhaps that's how it's done. Alright, so cool. Alright, so now we have this as our monitor, and now we can start working from it. I have this idea that it will be kind of like a laptop, but it will be actually stationary. So it will have like the visuals and the kind of basic feel of it. However, it will not be a portable computer. So let's start with another plane. Actually, let's first bring this one in. Yeah. Okay, and let's rotate it. How much? 60. 70. 70 is fine. That's about how my computer looks. Okay. Cool. So now what we have to do is, first of all, let's remove this mannequin. Now I'm going to start with a plane, and I'll explain why in a second. So the width, like 5, yeah, and then how much is a keyboard? It's like what, 50 by 20, right? So let's make this 35, 36 to be in the power of 2, right? And make it editable poly, and we can start extruding. Hold shift to extrude a line, and then make the line about here. We can always change this. No, that's bad idea. Actually, I'm just gonna eyeball it. Cool. And let's go to a local and bring it down. Right. It's way too early for me to do this. Anyway, alright, so now get this one, let's chamfer it. I want like this curvy chamfer. It's so it will be 5 and then like this. Cool. And this whole thing, actually I'm going to shell it instead of yeah, why not? Let's shell this whole thing. And why the shell doesn't make it out of poly? It's one thing that has been bothering me for a long time. Alright, now I have this. So now all we need to do is mirror it. So let's get a symmetry. And what am I doing? There we go. Put the symmetry in the middle. Collapse it. Starting to get the block out that we want. You know what? Let's leave it as symmetry. And let's work on this. Because I want to swift a little bit here. Somewhere here. There you go. Yeah. And now I can symmetry it. Now this one and this one, gonna bridge them. Go. And I actually like the idea of being open up the top. However, I want to introduce a little bit of a, let's say, not to be so symmetrical. So what I'm going to do, I'll create one of those. Cool, and let's bring it back to view. Right. And here I am going to extrude it. This. Cool. Let's still the block out, so for now it will work. I'm just going to do now a little bit of a trim here. Alright, to do that we are gonna get those two edges. This one and this one. I got the wrong edge, right? Yeah. Those two, we're gonna chamfer it. So not that much of a trim, but rather I want this to be the same thing that has. So something like, let's go for 2 and for 4. I said 4. There we go. So 4 and 4 is fine. And then let's see if it will let us do this. I want to do those same trims on those two edges. So now, that was not a good idea. I mean, let's leave it like this. That's fine. Alright, so now once we have those, we'll connect those later, don't worry about it. But I'm going to get another plane to bring the keyboard so I can start building the smaller elements. Right? And 26. I'm going to get out of the snap, slightly up, and there will be kind of projectors. All those will be holograms, so the idea is that this computer will be kind of a holographic display, holographic keyboard. However, .48. I know you don't have to be that precise, it just helps me feel better for myself. Alright, now later on what we'll do is we will double those. So for the keyboard, what we'll be doing is we will get a copy of it like this, underneath it, and like slightly offset it, something like this, or even smaller offset. But what this will do is when you get the holographic material inside the engine, it will have this depth illusion to the player, which will be cool. Now I'm just going to delete this, and the same will be with the screen. However, the screen will be flipped, so if you are walking behind the terminal from this side, you will see it again, but just a little bit distorted. So we are almost done with the block. I don't like this here though, so what I'm going to do is get this piece, and I'm gonna get all those. Hold on, there you go. I'm gonna get all those polygons here. I'm gonna go to a local, and I'm going to drive them up just a bit. There we go. Something like this. That's much better now. Or if we want to be cool about it, we can just like bring this down. Not X. Oh my god. Working between Maya and Max is frustrating sometimes. Okay, we can do it like this. That looks better. Alright, so now this whole thing is fine, but I don't want it sitting down. So what I have in mind is to create a little kind of cylinders, right? Something like this. Then what's going on? It's not in the middle. Anyway, what we're gonna do is we're going to get rid of those subdivisions. 18 is, let's go for 24. And the idea when you're doing cylinders is, let me see if I can show it on top, is that you want to have a line, the cylinder to have a line. If I go to cap segments to have a line through both axes, right? Because if you go for 22, for example, you see that you cannot symmetry it on this side, on the X. So basically it's 18, no, it's 20, I guess. 20, then 24, then 4, then you have 28, then you have 32, and so forth and so forth. 32 is a little bit much for us. Let's go for 28 actually. That's fine by me. And we're gonna forget the cap segment. We don't need this, and we're going to make it editable poly. We just don't need the cylinder. We need just one side of it, and you'll see how. So if I rotate it 9 degrees and I move it Okay, let's grab all this and attach them together. So I'm going to attach all the planes and I'm gonna lock them. There we go. So now if we get our cylinder and we move it here, there you go. That's why I didn't work with the positioning. Now I can position it in the middle, but we don't need this anymore because I want it to be something like this. And in the middle of those. Okay, so what we can do is we'll just unfreeze this very quick and we'll create a single simple line. So to do this, just get one line, ring it and connect it, and it will give you the center of it. And we'll use this so we can snap to it with this cylinder. There we go. That's fine. Doesn't look fine. There you go. And now you can come here and you can just get rid of this, right? When you read, just control backspace. Whoops, control backspace. Otherwise, you will delete the line, but the vertices will remain. And then when you triangulate it, you have like messed up mesh. So let's freeze it again, and let's get this one. For this one, I am going to make it like that, and very much squashed. And probably you can see where I'm going. I am going to make those to be kind of like small stands. So now, because we created it properly with enough subdivisions, I can just delete all this and it will be right in the middle of it. And now I can shell this whole thing in though. Yeah, why not? We can show this. Sometimes you don't want to have a little bit of this, but I think it's some kind of visual stimuli that reads well. And we're gonna scale it in like this. Cool, and we are going to tuck it underneath. Now I don't know if I want it to be fully underneath or I want it to be something like this. If I do it fully underneath, what I can do is I can so you either, if you want to snap to a frozen object, you gotta go to your snaps and in the options go to snap to frozen objects, and this way you'll be able to snap to the frozen thing. Otherwise you won't be able to do it. Now I'm not sure, I usually don't keep this on, simply because if I have simply because if I have the mannequin, I would constantly snap to it, and I don't want that. For some reason I turned off my command panel. There you go. Right, so we have this. One thing we're missing though. The hell? What happened? One thing we're missing is I want it to be, I don't want it to be like offsetted. So do I still have the snaps on? So I'm going to snap this here. However, obviously I want to have this active as well. There you go. Right, and now what we can do is we can symmetry this whole thing. Do a mirror it, and symmetry it into. I'll have this selected. Okay, no worry. It doesn't matter, it's just better that way. So Z, move the mirror slider to the center so we can mirror in the center. There we go. Collapse it. Now what we want to do is we want to attach the whole thing together, and we want to make sure the pivot is the center and down here. There we go. Oh, my God. Okay. One thing I messed up is I gotta do this again. So this time bring those in. So view, bring those in here. Let's bring those in here. I Control Z one too many times. Right, so now just for visual representation, let's give it a couple of different colors. I don't need the, there we go, that's much better. We will probably have to go to the more advanced material editor just to set up a multi-sub because it's easier there. However, now we can just get those two, and I'm going to apply this, and I'm just gonna make it a little bit less rough. Because those I'm not going to bother with. Yeah. So this, now let's bring it in. There we go. So this will be the kind of the block out. We can bring back our thing and see how it looks from third person view. It's big enough. It's something that will be the guy will be able to read. Alright, now let's see what else we can do. We can make a quick width loop here and bring this a little bit to make cooler shape, but I'm not so sure about this. What? What the hell is that? Anyway. Something like this. I'm not very sure about it, so I prefer it to be like this. What we can do is actually get this one. For some reason it's very, let's reset this whole thing up. No, probably this will work. If not, we don't even need to be. Yeah, there you go. So we can do something like this, which is not bad. I think I'll leave it like that. Okay, so now before we start adding our multipliers, basically the chamfer and the turbo smooth, I want to have a little projectors that project to the screens, and this will do. Let's clock this one off because we are way over 20 minutes. I rambled too much in the beginning. Next time we'll pick it off from here where we'll add the details, and we'll start making it look like what will be in the game. as well as we'll talk about how the materials will work in the engine, because we'll have to figure out, and I have a time till the next video to figure out if I want this to be like interactive, so like those terminals in like new game is the Outer World I can think of, or the Fallout games where you can just interact with the terminal itself by clicking on it, or it will be something static, and whenever you interact with this computer, this terminal, whatever, you get a whole new screen. But this we will figure out in the next video. So tell me if you like this type of videos. I will surely finish this asset in this manner in 2 or 3 more videos, probably 2. However, if you like this type of video where I talk and I kind of walk through everything I do, tell me in the comments, like the video, subscribe the video, and if it gets a good response, we can make this a permanent deal. Stay safe and stay cool, and I'll see you next time. Bye bye.